Hey guys, this is Savage Gamer 1998 here, and today we are going to be talking about the PlayStation 2. So yep, doing my first console review. Now, first let's look at the consoles themselves. You got the basic stuff, controller ports, memory cards. There's one thing I want to take note to. That little blue thing right there. Those are the USB ports. Now the model we're looking at right now is the fat model. You got the eject button and the power button. You can also turn this, like if you want to turn the console sideways. You can do that, but personally I prefer sitting it like that. And we've also got the slim model, which I got today at a thrift store. Now, when I got this, somebody had actually put stickers on this thing, and that's why you see all this residue right there. So yeah, you got the same memory card and controller slots. And the USB slots are down here, and you might notice, hey, there's an IR sensor down there. Well, I'll get to that in a bit. Notice the fat version doesn't have that IR sensor. Keep that in mind. So, first we'll start off with the fat model. Now I want to say I like the look of this system. I think it's cool looking. Yeah, we'll look at the back. Yep, here's the basic stuff. I don't know if you could see it, but the model number is SCPH 3001. Yep. You might be wondering, why is there an expansion bay slot down here? Well, that was so you could put a network adapter or a hard drive in there. So that's why this thing is just huge. And you notice you got the AV multi out, and if you wanted to plug it into like a stereo system, you got that optical audio out. I'm going to put this door back in. Yes, yes, you got this fan right there. And like I said, this is the fat version. So you push this, you push the eject button and tray will come open. Yep. Now the thing you need to know about the fat version is that the tray tends to wear out. Mine still opens, thankfully. But there might come time when it doesn't anymore. When I open the tray, sometimes it'll make that little noise when it reaches out after it's done opening. Yeah. Another thing, the system was their very first DVD player. Like, it was the cheapest DVD player on the market. I'm sure everyone loved to have like a bedroom DVD player back then. And that is what the little IR sensor is for. So if you get like a PlayStation 2 remote, you could use it to navigate the DVD menus. But you could also use the controller, which I'll show in a bit. Right now, let's show this model right here, which is the slim model. Yep. Let's compare it. Compared to how small this is. So, yep. The slim comes in different colors, I've heard. Black. This is the silver one. Red. There's also other colors. I can't really think of the name. Can't really think of any other colors right now. Oh, oops. I just dropped it. You want to be careful with this thing. If you have this version, you might want to be careful. See, there's an overlook at the console. Oh, and this time, you got a little network adapter. Same outputs, but the power supply is different, and I'll get to that later. Yep, and this model is the SCPH 79001, and it uses a DC 8.5 volt power supply. So this thing is so small, I could just take this with me on vacation if I wanted to. Don't have to drag the big boy around. And another thing, it's a top loader. So, yeah, that leaves less parts to worry about. Okay. So yeah, the Slim runs just as well as the fat version does, but it reads the game faster than the fat version does. Okay, now let's talk about power supplies. I got a plug. Alright. Now the PS2 fat version uses these old radio power cords. Yep. I'll turn the systems around. Yep, the power supply is actually built into the fat version. Whereas the slim version you have a DC power brick. And it looks like a laptop charger. So yep, that just goes into the back of the system. Now the AV multi-outs, both PS2s use the same AV cable. Anyways, enough on that, and now we're going to talk about the controller. So yep, I have to say I like the controller on this one. Oh, and another thing I want to mention is that the PlayStation 2 can also play PlayStation 1 games. And you can use the PS2 controller like the DualShock 2. See right there. DualShock. You can use that DualShock 2 controller to play the PlayStation 1 games. Or, if you want to be original, you can also use the original DualShock controller. So yeah, they basically just look the same, so yeah. Another thing I want to mention is that you can also use the original DualShock controller to play the PlayStation 2 games. So yeah. Alright, now I'm going to... Alright. Now I'm going to plug the two PlayStation 2s in, and your questions will be answered as to which one you should actually get. Now the two things I want to talk about before we get into the systems, I want to talk about the memory cards and the types of PlayStation 2 discs. Because there are two different versions. Yeah, there are two different types of CDs. So, yep. Here are the memory cards for the PlayStation 2. These are just the two I have. And the other one, well, this is just a PlayStation 1 memory card I have. So, yep. Now, if you think you're going to save your PlayStation 1 games onto the PlayStation 2 memory cards, well, better advice. If you want to get the PlayStation... If you're... Sorry. If you're getting PlayStation 1 games for the first time and you have a PlayStation 2 to play them on, buy a PlayStation 1 memory card while you're ahead. Because I went home one time and thought the PlayStation 2 memory cards would save my PlayStation 1 game. So yeah, don't make that same mistake I did. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the disc types. Yep. Here's an example of two that I have. I do have a couple more PlayStation 2 games, but they're mostly the same as this one. Like, for example, here's Shadow the Hedgehog. Now the only difference are the backs. This is the back of Shadow the Hedgehog. And yes, it's a DVD-ROM. Now we have Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. And here's the back of that one. Yes, it's a blue disc. Alright. So, now we can move on to the console abilities. Alright, so I have all the consoles plugged in, and I know you're wondering, hey, isn't that red light supposed to be flashing on your PS2 Fat? Well, yeah, actually it is. Now, I know you guys have probably noticed there is a power switch on the back. Just like with what they did for old computers. Zoom in. When you flick it on, the actual console comes on. Well, not all the way on, but you get what I mean. Doesn't start up right away. Now listen to that fan when you turn it on. You hear that? Yep. Turn this. Push this button to open it up. And yep. Now keep in mind that the tray on the fat version can wear out. So, but that will be shared at the end of the video. Just turn this off. Now as for the slim version, you don't even have to open a tray. You can just push this button. This will pop up, insert your disc in there, just turn the console on. Just like you do with the GameCube and the PlayStation 1. And yes, if you're wondering, there is a fan in there, but it's not really loud. I mean, the drive, when you put a blue disc in there, ramps up speed. Same goes for the PS2 Fat. Okay, we'll turn it on and I'll let you take a listen to the fan. I bet you guys heard that laser mechanism turning. So yep. Now I am going to hook this up to my capture device and I will show you the booting up process on each one. Alright, so I am back from the boot process. And now, boot processing wise, the Slim is the winner. Size wise, Slim has to be the winner because it's so compact. You could take this anywhere on vacation with you. Oh, and I'm going to mention something about the boot process. The boot process, it's fast. Faster than the fat version. The only reason I actually like the fat version was because of its tray mechanism. It's actually my favorite model. Nothing against the Slim. I think that runs well. I know I stated on my old channel that the Slim version sucked, but I kind of like the Slim. I think it's a good step. You know, you don't have to worry about a lot of parts breaking, especially that CD tray. And the Slim version, you have a separate power supply, which is sitting right over there. Okay. Yeah, it's not like built into the system or anything, like the fat version. Yeah. And part of the reason the fat version takes a little longer than the Slim version to load is basically because of that tray. You know, because the spindle has to warm up after the disc has been inserted. Whereas the Slim version, it just starts right up. So a good recommendation, if you want a PS2, go with the Slim model. If you go for the fat model, just be aware of what you're in for when it breaks. Like the tray can sometimes be stiff. You'll probably have to take it apart and get the CD out to save your game. So, if you don't know what you're doing while repairing this, don't buy the fat version. It's not worth it. Yeah. So basically, game consumers, don't buy the fat version. Leave it to the amateurs or professionals. They can do it. So yeah. The winner for recommendations on PlayStation 2 models has to be the Slim. So yeah. That's all for this review, and I will see you guys later.